the past few summers, I've not really tried to push myself out my comfort zone. I've never really tried to do anything new until last year, where my parents came up to me asking me if I wanted to join the African expedition to Eswatini and Kruger, where essentially you'd do wild camping and you'd camp out in like an NCP village, you'd help them build a kitchenette, and then after your wild camping, your treks and everything, you'd have 2 days of rest and relaxation where you'd go to the Kruger National Park. And I'd really thought to myself about this decision because there was no one else that I knew from my friend group that was going on this trip. So I agreed spontaneously, thinking that this would be a really, really fun trip. And yes, it was. Because I also found out that I had a lot of people from my friend group who decided to come as well. So that only in itself made it so much better, and I also made such strong bonds with the people who went. Now, why am I talking about this? It's because I tried something new, and I had the best 2 weeks of my life. Away from social media, away from my phones, the ultimate 2-week dopamine detox, where I spent time with my friends. I was social, I was off my phones, I was experiencing nature, I was trying new things, I was succeeding, I was failing, I was working hard. That was the best 2 weeks of my life. Now, I want summer to be that kind of a thing for you. Now, how do you do that, right? So I'm going to tell you 3 things that you should do this summer. And they're very, very, very simple things, and you probably already know this, right? The thing is about most things I'm going to tell you in all my videos, and even in this video, is that you probably know this stuff, but you haven't got the willpower, the motivation to go through and do it. And this is me just reminding you, trying to get it ingrained in your head that you should do these things, and you really need to do them. And it's going to be me presenting the benefits and the costs of doing these things or not doing these things. So I'm going to present you 3 things that you should do this summer to make your summer a lot better than it would have been if you weren't doing these 3 things. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is to be social, right? I know there's like a whole stigma around, okay, this summer, I'm going to grind. But if you keep on grinding, maybe this is your grind season, okay? Then maybe I'm going to back off and not say anything about that. It's maybe your season where you're going to put in a lot of work. But if you already had your season, you plan to do your season in the winter where you're going to grind and work, then leave the summer to be social. Build your social skills, build your relationships, build your experiences, have some time where you're just going out with friends. You need to build your social skills, or else you just become autistic, which is just kind of fucking odd. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to build your experiences and your relationships, and you do that by being social. And how do you be social? You go out and do new things, which moves on to my next point, which is point number 2, which is trying new things. This is something that I struggle with so much, and it could be the simplest thing. It could be trying a new drink, trying a new piece of food that you haven't tried before. And if you do these things, you're going to figure out what you like and what you don't like. It goes into like a whole life philosophy where if you don't try new things, you'll never find what is you. You will never find your authentic you because you haven't tried everything, so you don't know what you like, and you don't know what you like, so you haven't even built you. You haven't built up this individual of who you want to be. And I'm sure a lot of people go into their 20s, their 30s, still not knowing who they are because they refuse to try new things. They stay in their comfort zone and they stop trying to improve after a certain point because they get comfortable. If you get comfortable, you're never going to figure out who you are. Who is your authentic you? So this summer, set it out that you're gonna go try and experience new things. You're gonna try new things, whether it be new foods, new drinks, new people, new just opportunities. Like, expose yourself to certain things that you haven't done before. Pull yourself out your comfort zone so you can find things that you actually find enjoyable. You find things that you actually like. Stop thinking about what other people are going to think. Stop conforming to expectations and ask yourself what it is that you want to try, what it is that you want to do. And sometimes you're not going to really want to try it. Your body's not going to want to try it. If it's something new, you're not going to want to go and explore that region because you want to stay in the place that it seems safe. Stepping out into that darkness, stepping out into that area of not knowing where you're going to go is scary because you don't know what the outcome could be. You don't know what could happen, which is why you need to allow yourself to walk into it and it seems so contradictory, but you need to walk into it to figure out what it is that happens. What is it that, maybe it's something that you like, maybe it's something that you don't like. If you don't like, then you learn and you move on and you try something else. And then this also just melds in with the third point, which is to experience new things in terms of successes and failures, because those are your real teachers. I won't teach you the things that you learn from your successes and your failures. The Hamza won't teach you the things that you learn from your successes and your failures. Your parents won't teach you the things that you learn from your success and failure. No one can teach you. You can teach yourself from your own experiences, from the things that you learn, the successes, the failures, the losses, the wins. Like, you need to go through things to get this sort of stimulus to figure out what it is. If you lose, you can learn from that. If you win, you can learn from that. What is it that you did right? What is it that you could have done better? We did this back in primary school, where anytime we won something, or we did good in a test, or we did bad in a test, we'd write down what is it that we did wrong, what is it that we could do better. There was a reason for that, because we're trying to learn from our failures. It wasn't presented as that in school, which is why it failed to do what its necessary intention was, because even the teachers didn't know what its intention was. But now I'm telling you that you need to learn from these failures. If you learn from the failures, guess what? You won't make the same mistake again. You make the mistake once and you fix it the next time, you won. That failure wasn't really a failure. It's either a win or learn situation. Failures can't exist if you just learn from them. Because if you learn from them, then it's going to lead to a better opportunity in the next point where you could win. So experience, because you're either going to win or you're either going to learn. And either way, you will grow as an individual. Use this summer as an area of growth in your social skills, in learning about you. Because that's your biggest asset, you. You are unique. The chances of you being born are astronomical. Use this to your advantage. You are different in every way. To me, to your parents, to your friends. Use that to your advantage. Learn who you are. And then maybe you can become better from that point on. Thank you for listening. Hopefully this video was of value to you. Hopefully this has, brought ingrained in your head things that you should do this summer, things that you should implement to actually try and figure out who you are. In that case, yeah, thank you for listening. And if you're new, my name is Vanch. Click on subscribe and post notifications if you want to see more videos with some sort of value in them. And yeah, thank you for listening. Click on this video, click on subscribe. It's a bit easier here. Go get that shit, man. Love.